Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Oxen for Ape, and this is my team builder for Week 6 of Season 4 in the Major Pokemon League. This week I will be going up against Dark Devil 26, aka Brendan. He's a pretty good friend of mine. He is new to this season, which like most of the coaches are. I think like almost all the coaches are, though. But that's cool, so definitely check him out, link will be down below. Usually I do these in the same video as the battle. This week I want to be different and cool and special. I don't know, I wanted to do a thumbnail or do a team builder. That's fun. As you can see, I'm on my team page here. I'm not going to be on here for too long, but you can see my record. We're 1-4, which is not where I want to be right now. I was hoping to do a little better, but, so I'm just going to show you guys, some stuff on the dock, like the standings and stuff, and it's kind of I guess just my standing right now in the league. So right now I'm 1-4, as you can see, and that's, not great. But I'm not out of playoffs yet. I mean, as of now, I'm not in the playoffs. But if I win out, I can definitely still make it. I might be able to lose one more game, but I can still definitely make the playoffs. That's for sure. That's possible. So I need to start bringing it back, though. I need to get a win this week for sure. It's definitely, the season's not over. It's not over yet. I can go on a tear and make playoffs. If I went out, I think I definitely make playoffs. I haven't done the math, but I would assume like 8-4 should definitely get me in playoffs. But that's a long ways away. So we just gotta take one game, 1 week at a time. So this week, so we're going up against a pretty tough opponent. He's 3-2, as you can see on his team page here. So he's got a Sarah team. I'll probably have the screenshot on screen when I'm going over my team. Read it off in a second. I mean, you guys can see it, but whatever. I don't even know if I really need to read off. I mean, you guys can see it. You'll see it in a second when I get to the team. So, yeah, you guys can see my team page and see his. I'm just going to go to the standings here, I'll go to this tab. So, this is week 6. So, Brendan, it's going to be an important game. We are 0-2. We're divisional opponents right now. So, we're trying to make that a little better. Brendan is 1. So, we're trying to make that 1-2 versus them. We lost to, we lost in week 4 and week 2, so trying to get back from those losses. So hopefully I can be 1-2, be nice 1-2 right here at the end of this week. So right now I'm 1-4. I'm in the bottom of my conference. I'm -9 and he's -8. So we're in the bottom of the conference. We're towards the bottom of the whole standings of the league. Not everyone's quite caught up on all the games. That's why it's a little messed up here, but. Still, it's not looking great, but it's still, we can bring it back. Our season's not over yet. We just gotta keep fighting, and I gotta take this one game at a time. I think it was helpful, though, because my last game was 2 weeks ago versus Road, because last week we did not upload because, of the March Madness tournament, which is really hype and really cool and really awesome. I'll probably make a video or multiple videos on that to show you guys my full play games and such. But yeah, so, I think I've done enough just on the dock here. You guys can see the standings, a little less than ideal for me. But essentially the point is I can still fight back, and if I prep well and play well in the next really stressful season, then I can fight my way back in the playoffs. It's a long ways away, but I can still make it, I believe. So I'm just gonna hop into my team right over here. So I guess I'll actually move his team to the tab to the other screen. Yeah, okay. So now I can see his team while looking at the team builder. Alright, so you can see my Mew set here. So let me actually just go over. So this team. So essentially the plan is to weaken stuff down and win with this man. My Landers here. It's really the plan is just weaken stuff down and win with Landers late game. That's the plan. I'll get into that a little more once you see Landers' set. But this team is it's built around Landers, so that Landers can be in a spot to where it can set up if it needs to, and then sweep. It might not need to set up either, so it might be able to just clean up late game without having to set up the Seed Sandstorm, which you might have briefly saw. But my Mew, so knockoffs, then headbutt boost, and bulk up here. So this Cassibberry is meant to take a ghost hit, meant to take hits from Chandelure. Now the 2 main mons I expect, I think, Chandelure and Jirachi. Those are the main 2 mons I expect. I 100% expect those. Absolutely. Next mons I expect, I think Zapdos, Piloswine. I think those 2 could come just because I know he likes those 2. I think they both have pretty good matchups. These decent matchups, so I expect both of those to come. The last 2 slots are a little iffy. He could bring something like Blastoise, Flygon. I don't really expect Florges too much. But we'll see how that goes. I could bring just like some other lower threats. Hit some mons. Yeah, I'm not too certain on those last two slots are on his team, but I think I'm pretty confident that I'll bring the first 4. But even if he doesn't bring all those mons, I think he kind of has to bring like most of the mons that I think he'll bring, so that kind of helps me a bit in team building. Even then, like his lower threats like Hekleon or Floridas, I don't expect too much, and even if I don't really go out of my way to prep for them too much, my team just kind of how it's built and just how it's drafted can kind of deal with them, so I'm not too worried about some of those threats. But let me just go over this moveset and talk about it. So this is enough speed to outspeed a max speed timid Chandelure. I think he'll either be Scarfed or Specs. 100% he'll be one of those two. I don't think he'll be anything else at all. For sure, he's going to be a choice in some way. So I could bring my Snorlax as a really good check, a really good switch into Chandelure. Chandelure. Jeez, English. But I'm really scared of Trick, and I don't want my Snorlax to get tricked. And even then, I thought about it. I could still like make a Snorlax that could kind of deal with that. But I feel like Snorlax in general wasn't the best in this matchup, so I don't really have a good switch in to Spec Chandelure. I sort of have a decent one, I'll see later on my team, but this thing can lure that thing in, and then I will outspeed it unless he's Scarf. But if he is Scarf, I can live a hit. If he is Specs, I can live it too, as long as I'm healthy enough. Then I can go for the knockoff, get rid of his Scarf or Specs, and do decent damage to this thing. Really, so I want to knock off just to hit Chandelure. I'm talking too fast. Zen Headbutt's just good stab. Roost lets me stay healthy. Then in that last slot, I really didn't know what I wanted. I felt like Volca was nice, just allowing me to set up on stuff like Zapdos, if he's not toxic, and just allows me to set up on some other stuff. So I felt like it's just nice to have in case I need it. I didn't really need anything else on last slot, so that's my thought process there. So next we have my Scolipede. So the thought process behind this set, let me just wait, max speed, or almost max speed, enough to outspeed for Razion, which is the fastest mod on his team. So I can outspeed everything on his team naturally with this thing, so that's awesome. So, but yeah, the thought behind this set is it can lure in Zapdos, for sure. Zapdos is a pretty solid switch in, it seems like it is, for sure. But the plan is I can set up a +2 either on the switch in or maybe against it. I can live a hit, as long as he's not going to hit too hard, which I can live a hit fairly well. Like I can live like a T-Bolt. Even after rocks, I can live a T-Bolt. Does like 55 to 65, I think, if he's no special attacks. So that's pretty good. I can hit him with a +2 Rock Slide, which does a good chunk with my Life Orb. It does, if he's physically defensive, I want to say it does like 60 to 70% or something. I know the calc without Life Orb was like just over 50, so with Life Orb it was a little more. Because originally I was Black Sludge. This thing can type Sword Stance, so, and it's just really nice. So I can just weaken down Zapdos. It's fine if, I'm not going to beat Zapdos. Like, I'm not going to kill it, but I don't need Zapdos to be gone. I just need it really weakened for my Landorus, because Stone Edge and my Landorus does, like 45% or so. I forget the exact calc. I think in the Sandstorm, though, it does a little more. I think I'll admit, maybe it does. I forget the exact calc, something like that. I think it does 40 outside of Sandstorm, like 50 in Sandstorm. But yeah, also I can set up the T-Spikes here. He does have a Poison type in the form of his Nihilego. I think I said that right. Maybe. But I don't totally expect it to come. Even if it does come, I can either get rid of it like pretty soon, maybe, or I don't need T-Spikes, but they're nice to weaken down stuff like Virizion, Pilot Swine. I guess Chandelure. I don't really need that to weaken down, but I can weaken down Blastoise. Just stuff like that, I can weaken them down, which helps my Landorus for sure. So that's the plan with the T-Spikes. And then I just carry Bug Stab here. Bug Stab. I feel like I just didn't want to miss. I just needed damage just to weaken stuff down, so it didn't need the extra power. But the risk of missing, so I felt like it's fine just to carry that. It's nice and accurate with the X Scissors, that's cool. So now let's move on to my Wincon Landorus, which I've kind of talked about briefly, but this thing, so it can set up a Sandstorm and potentially just sweep if stuff's low enough. Now, the problem with this is I can't set up Burst too much. I'm going to have to play very safely, I'm really going to have to think about my plays and think what can Landorus set up on, versus what he brings. So Chandelure could potentially be mine, I can set up on. If he specs, he does Okami, so that's scary. But if he's either Scarfed, then I can live it, set up the Sandstorm, I'll outspeed him. Well, Z Sandstorm, it is, then I'll outspeed him. Or if he's not Scarfed, I can, my Superior and my Mew, they can get rid of his specs, because they both have knockoff, which you'll see. So that can help me then lower Chandelure's power, which then allows Landorus a chance to set up and then potentially sweep, as I've said. Landorus at +1 will outspeed everything on his team naturally. That's use everything barring Scarf Nihilego or Scarf Rizzion. I don't expect Scarf Rizzion. I could bring the Scarf Squid thing, and that can check me. But I can hopefully scout and see, and then maybe get rid of that thing early enough, or just I have switching inside. I have my Mew, which can switch in comfortably. I have my Stunfisk, which can also switch in pretty comfortably as well. So not too worried about that. I don't think it's a huge threat, even if it does come. This coverage just allows me to hit pretty much everything on his team. Yeah, I have this here for the Flygon, just because I felt like I wanted to hit. I could carry HP Flying instead, hit Rizzion a little harder. Felt like Flygon was a little more likely to come. That's why I thought that. And also I thought Flygon will be a little harder to chip down with other damage, because Rizzion I can chip down. Yeah, I think the plan chip down with my Toxic Spikes. There's no thought process there. If it brings Rizzion, so I could chip down with T-Spikes, so I don't need to hit it quite as hard. So I'm still jolly though, just because I want to. I don't want to lower my my SPDF or my physical defense, just because I want to be able to take it as well as possible if I need to. So it's playing with Lando there. Just, you know, Edge Quake hits stuff, really. Yeah. Next we got Gypsy, the Stunfisk, so Toxic Discharge, Foul Play, and Stealth Rock. So pretty physically defensive, bit of SPDF. I think this so I can live like 2 Scarf Energy Balls from Chandelure or something like that maybe. I forget what that SPDF is for. Maybe something like that. Toxic allows me to chip down stuff like Zapdos. Discharge allows me to hit stuff like Blastoise for decent damage, as well as really not a lot else, but still Discharge is just a nice stat. Allows me to hit Blastoise. I can hit Rachi for neutral damage. I can hit it actually doesn't hit quite as much as I thought, kind of looking back on it, but it's alright. Yeah, I could have maybe carried Earth Power instead, but I want to be able to hit Zapdos for at least neutral damage, and actually in hindsight, it actually kind of makes more sense to carry Earth Power. But it was nice to have Discharge for Blastoise. Yeah, Discharge actually isn't quite as useful as I thought. Yeah, I really should carry Earth Power in hindsight, but I already did the match. Yeah, but it's alright though. Foul Play does more to Rachi than any stab there, so that's why I'm carrying Foul Play. It hits Rachi, hits Flygon if that thing wants to try to step on me. It does a decent chunk. It's I guess Piloswine for it doesn't do much Piloswine. That's something I cannot poison though with my Toxic. The main things I want to poison are Piloswine, Blastoise, and Zapdos, or Florges if that comes. I don't expect it to, but if it does, you know. Then I can set up rocks. Now this thing, it does kind of lure in like either Spinner being Blastoise or Zapdos can get rid of rocks. But I also be able to scout it, and then if Zapdos does want to get rid of rocks, I can poison him, so that's fine. I'll take that trade. Because I just need his team weakened down for Lando. That's what the plan with this team is. And if I can poison Zapdos, that helps me immensely with weakening it down. So that's the plan there. Yeah, except lefties, I don't really need anything else. It's nice just to get back some health slowly. But next we have my Assault Vest Sylveon. So this set seems weird, for sure. Enough SPDF to live 2 specs Fire Blast from Chandelure. Now Brandon is bad and carries Fire Blast or Flamethrower because apparently he thinks Fire Blast is going to hit. Apparently. He thinks they will. I don't know. But yeah, this thing, it hits pretty hard and it can take hits pretty well, which is awesome. I think it could use Zapdos, like if it's physically defensive, I do with my stab there, which is awesome. Shadow Ball hits Rachi and Chandelure, Slash Rock hits Nihilego. I can do everything else with my stab, so that's fine. Wish is there if I get knocked off by Absol or tricked by Chandelure. I can throw up a Wish and maybe not heal up Sylveon because I probably won't be able to live another hit. I mean, it depends on situations, but I might be able to keep Sylveon healthy with Wish, or I can pass a Wish into something like Stunfisk, or maybe even Landorus if I find a good situation to bring that in, or maybe even Scolpede, or Mew, or it's nice to pass a Wish into anything if I need to, if I get the chance to, if my my item's knocked off or tricked away, which I feel like is very reasonable. This thing, yeah, I mean, yeah, this thing's my switch into both of those mobs. I could take away my item. So that's why I have a Wish there. That's the plan. And I just didn't really need anything else in Lhasa anyway. So I figured if I just figured Wish could be helpful over anything else. Nothing, like no other attacks really helped me there much or at all. So I figured Wish could be helpful and cool. So yeah. Next we got my Jakester here, my superior named Jakester. So Leaf Storm, HP Ice, Knockoff, and Light Screen. So This Aqua Berry here is a fire super effective berry thing. Meant for Chandelure again. So I have the Ghost Berry here and the Fire Berry here. So a lot of berries in this team. This is meant for Chandelure. So the plan, if he's Scarf, so he will outspeed me and then will break my berry. But I can live it from full. Even if I'm after rocks, if he's Modest, Scarf, Fire Blast, it has a very little chance to OHKO me. It has a chance, but you know, it's only if he's Modest, which he probably will be. But he still also has to still also has to hit the Fire Blast. Combining all my sounds, all my words, and speaking too fast. But yeah, you know, hitting Fire Blast is always an issue. But we'll see. But yeah, knock off net 2, knock off Chandelure's item. So again, I would have said earlier when I was on ladder, so I can knock off its specs potentially. And that allows the landers to live a non-specs boosted hit, which is awesome since landers can set up on Chandelure. I didn't really need anything in the last slot, so I figured out Light Speed's nice because if I'm in a spot where I will outspeed Chandelure or something else, but I'm low enough to where I just want to sack off Surf, I can just go for that. And then, I'll still die the turn, but then that helps the landers potentially set up, or just helps my team take special hits if I need to, so that's the thought process there. HP Ice hits Zapdos, and Virizion, I could carry HP Fired it. Jirachi, but I can already hit that thing decently with a knock off its potential Scarf, or maybe Shuka, maybe Air Balloon if it's that, which it could be for Lando for sure. I feel like Shuka's fairly likely, but I feel like I don't need HP Fire just because I don't really need to weaken down Rachi as much as I need to weaken down Zapdos, so I feel like it's just more important to hit Zapdos, so that's why I have HP Ice. No speed outspeed for Virizion, just like Scolipede. So that's a team there. Well, you don't need to do that. But the plan is just win with Senor Ombre here. So Landorus can hopefully clean up a late game. That is the plan with this team, and hopefully this team can get me back in the win column. That's the plan. So I'm 1-4 right now. Looking to make that 2-4. We'll see how this goes. So this is going to go up on Saturday, as you will see it up on Saturday. But the battle will go up tomorrow on Sunday, and it was a good one for sure. I already had it, but yeah, definitely a good one. So, yeah, you guys saw the team. I feel really confident in it. I feel like it's a good team, though. I felt good going into the battle. I really liked it. So, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. Battle will go up tomorrow, and, you know, the battle builder shouldn't be too long since I already did the team builder in this video here. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow with the battle, and, yeah, bye-bye.